Hi, welcome back. I'm here with
Mike Young.
Mike Young. I do apologize, Mike. My
No worries.
brain is only slightly addled. Mike's here to talk about his new soldering system, and I think we have an image that we can put up, and then you can tell us all about how wonderful it is.
Well, thank you, Keith. I appreciate that. This is our newest machine. It's called the NuFlex. It was built off of a flexible platform that we've had out for a number of years called the Flex. The difference between the Flex and the NuFlex is the board size that it can handle. So the old machine did a 508 by 508 millimeter board. This new machine does a 508 by 810, or I'm sorry, an 890 millimeter board. So it does a very large board. One of the other unique things about this machine is that you can do multiple boards in it at one time, whether those boards come in and they are panelized so that you can solder two of those boards in the panel at once, or you can put them into a pallet and have two soldered, or you can put them in individually and they will come to separate stops and be able to be soldered at one time. So whether you're running very large boards or you move to a smaller size board but need to do more production, you can do those in multiple ways.
Yeah, that's actually I've got to say, a novel solution, because I've not heard of that one before. I mean, people have had to go bigger and bigger with the machines for LED panels and all of these kind of things. But to be able to basically say, okay, I've got this area, and I can do whatever I need to do within that area, whether it's panelized or palletized or whatever, that's got to be a bit of a game changer.
It is, and we just had to make a couple of modifications to the way the machine was built in the beginning. Our former gantry system had two solder pots that were sitting side by side, front to back of the machine. This gantry system actually sits front to back from entrance to exit of the machine so that we could come up with two sides on it to be able to make that happen. And then we have a motorized pitch that you tell it what the distance is between those two boards, and it automatically motorizes to that position so it can come up and do things that way as well.
Oh, perfect. So what's it like in terms of throughput?
So throughput, it really depends on how many leads that you're soldering on the board at any given time. But if we can take that and double from one board going into it to two boards coming out of it at every time, so you can typically make a soldering point every few seconds, so depending if it's lines or dots, that's going to help you out as far as your throughput goes, or figuring out your throughput. But those are things that we can help a customer with as well. Things like doing simulations to be able to tell them what we can increase that throughput to be.
Yeah, and I guess when you're comparing it to a machine that doesn't have your flexibility, then you're showing a whole load of advantages.
Yes, there's becoming a bigger need in especially military contract manufacturing or power contract manufacturing, or even power OEMs, to go to a much larger board, and there's not a lot of flexible machines out there that can handle that size of board as well.
No, it's as you say, it's definitely a growing market, and it's one that creates difficulties all the way from the printing process all the way through. And with you guys with a flexible solution like that, it means if you've got a company who's doing some large boards and some normal stuff, they've got basically advantages in both ends, if you understand what I mean.
You're absolutely right, Keith.
Yeah.
It does. One of the other things that we changed recently in some of our machines is on our mechanical pumps. We offer both a mechanical pump or an electromagnetic pump, but in this machine, on the mechanical pumps, the problem with doing maintenance on a mechanical pump in the past is that you've had to take out the entire flow duct assembly in order to get to that, to do that cleaning. That can take anywhere from 45 minutes to a couple of hours if you run into snags, and then you have to recalibrate when you're done with it. We redesigned that system so that you have an impeller that goes straight down into the duct system. You remove the chain that is turning the impeller, and you pull that impeller directly out. And it takes that maintenance from being about a 45 minutes to 2-hour maintenance down to about a 15-minute maintenance, with no calibration having to be done at the end of it because you're not moving your nozzle. So that's another innovation that we came up with on this machine too.
Yeah, that's a neat solution, because people have always said with the mechanical ones, they're great when they're working.
Yes.
But when they're not working, yeah, it's really tough.
Yes, and making them work again takes a long time.
Yeah, and I guess when you have to change parts, that's also easier for the same reason. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and what's the market think about it since you've had it out there? What are people saying?
Well, we've gotten a very good response. In fact, we brought this machine we have a demo lab, in the Midwest that we keep equipment at. We brought this machine from our demo lab that we had just brought in new, hoping to set up at the demo lab to have people come in and look at it. And we brought it to the show, and it's actually leaving here and headed to a customer. So the response has been very good.
Oh, that's a real shame. Then you won't have a demo system. Yeah.
Got another one on the way.
Oh, that's a good plan. Well,
Yes.
it's good to hear like novel solutions that are within the soldering process, because everybody thinks we've been there, we've done it. There's nothing new and exciting happening. Right. So, Mike, thanks for coming in and sharing that with us.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate you having me here.
No problem.